Hi friends, this is Mrs. Han. Today we're going to be doing Module 3, Lesson 8, Adding and Subtracting with Mixed Numbers. We're going to be doing the number line, using a number line for a strategy today. We won't need to be drawing a number line for every single problem that we do, but it's a good idea to be a good mathematician to be comfortable with all the strategies. Go ahead and just watch me solve this one first. I have 1 and 1 3/4. So 1 plus 1 3/4. Let me make a little model of that before we get started. Here's 1, and here's another 1, and here's 3/4. So I got to draw the whole one, break it into 4 equal parts, and show 3 out of the 4 of them shaded in. So you can see that I have 1 plus 1 and 3/4. So if I was going to say 1, 2, 3/4. I bet some of you already saw the answer before I was even done drawing the model. 2 3/4. Let me draw the model for you anyway to show you what it looks like on a number line. Sometimes the hardest part of working with number lines is deciding how many spaces we even need. Well, I'm starting with nothing, and then I get 1 and 1 more and 3/4. So I'm going to have 0 on my board, and I have a number that's 1, and then I have a number between 1 and 2, so that's going to be 3 total, but I'm going to make it up to 4 parts. So I'm going to show 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite even, but close enough. All right, so how that looks on the number line is if we're starting at 0, then we make our first hop to the first addend, plus 1. Plus 1 more, or 1 3/4. And now I'm at 2. And I'm not going all the way to 3 because I'm not adding a whole number. I'm adding 3 out of the 4 parts between 2 and 3. But there are no parts drawn yet, so I need to make in those little sections. I need to make 4 total sections, half and half again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So I'm going to show 1, 2, 3. So plus 3/4. And I circled where I stopped, and there's no label here. So I'm going to put in the label 3/4, 2 and 3/4, because I'm not quite at 3. So 2 and 3/4. Not terribly complicated, pretty simple. And I bet that you saw all of that as it was happening, and it made perfect sense to you. So let's go ahead and try some together. Before we go to try some together, you're going to need some number lines. There's a template for you to use on page 61 in your blue Learn book. I want you to rip it out and put it in your whiteboard sleeve so you can follow along with your whiteboard and marker. If you do not have your whiteboard sleeve at home, you can go ahead and write on this template, and I'll just have to get you a new one when you get to school. Pause the video if you need to, unpause when you're done. All right, ready to go? So this says 2 3/10 plus 3 equals something. Our helpful little friend over here says put the wholes with the wholes and the fractions with the fractions. That makes sense to me. I can see that I have a whole number of 2 and a whole number of 3 and only one fraction, and this fraction is less than 1. So total, I need 6 parts. So on my number line, I'm going to make 6 parts. I'll make 7 just to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't even have to go all the way to the end. If your 7 landed over here, that's fine too. All right, so like before, I'm going to start with the whole numbers. 2, 1, 2, and I'm only going to put one label there. 2 plus 3 plus 3. And now I'm going to add in the fraction 3/10. Well, I don't have tenths on here, so I'm going to have to make tenths. 10 is 5 and 5, so I got to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 10 parts in between 5 and 6. And I need to use up 3 of them. That's 3 tiny little hops for me. 3/10. So now I can see that I'm at 5 and 3/10. So my total is 5 and 3/10. This one did not necessarily need to be modeled on a number line because you could probably have looked at that, especially with the hint from our friend that said put the wholes with the wholes and the fractions with the fractions. I could add 2 plus 3 is 5. 3/10 plus no other fraction is 3/10. We're only making a few models of a number line, so bear with me today. You won't always have to do this. All right, let's go ahead and try another example. So if you were working on your whiteboard, you could leave it and move down to the next one or erase. And if you're drawing them on, you'll have room in the next problem down. All right, now we're going to be subtracting. We're putting adding and subtracting together in this lesson because it's pretty simple, and working on a number line with these small numbers we're pretty comfortable with. So we're starting with 3 and we're taking away 1 and 2/3. So I know that I can make my number line up to 3. That almost makes it easier making a number line today. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm starting here and I'm taking away 1 and 2/3. So take away 1, and now I have to put in 2/3. So that means between 1 and 2, I need 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take away 2 out of those 3 spaces. Minus 2/3. So we end here. Where is here? Well, I can read 1 and I'm at 1/3, 2/3, and this would have been 3/3. So I'm at 1 and 1/3. You might have also thought about this as 3 take away 1 equals 2. So if you're doing this part first, and then 2 take away 2/3. You could even break it up into 1 and 1. 1 take away 2/3 is 1 take away 2/3 equals 1/3. And then we have this part and this part left. 1 and 1/3. All right, so let's move on and do one more problem together. Here's another subtracting problem. We're starting with 2, take away 1 and 3/8. So my number line only needs to go up to 2. We'll go with 0, 1, 2. And you'll notice that I didn't even go to the end of my number line. It's fine, this is where I'm starting. 2 minus 1 minus 3/8. So that means I need to break up this part into 8 parts. Half and half again, and half and half again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And take away 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, minus 3/8. So where am I? I'm right here. Where is that? Between 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So I'm at 5/8. So 2 take away 1 and 3/8 equals 5/8. If I wanted to show that mathematically, 2 minus 1 is what I did first, equals 1. 1 take away 3/8 equals 5/8. And I know that because 1 is the same as 8/8. 8 take away 3 equals 5. Pretty simple today. Do lesson 8 problem set. It's on page 55 in your blue Learn book. Do the rest of the word problems. Do the rest of the problems, including the word problems. If you have a good strategy, you don't have to draw a number line for all of the problems, but I would like you to draw it for at least 2 addition problems and 2 subtraction problems. So let me just write that note for you. Draw a number line for 2 of each type of equation. Just prove to me that you know how to work on a number line. If you want to use a number line for all of them, perfect. If you are more comfortable solving it numerically, go ahead and do that, but draw a number line for at least 2 of each type of equation. All right, good luck, guys.